More than 800 years ago, a powerful empire emerged from the endless grasslands of Mongolia and changed the course of human history forever. This was the Mongol Empire, the largest contiguous land empire ever created. At its height, it stretched from the shores of the Pacific Ocean to the borders of Europe, covering millions of square kilometers and connecting diverse cultures, languages, and civilizations. The story of this remarkable empire began with a young boy named Temujin, who was born around 162 into a world filled with hardship, tribal warfare, and uncertainty. His early life was far from easy. After his father was poisoned by a rival tribe, Temujin and his family were abandoned and forced to survive on their own. They faced hunger, poverty, and constant danger. However, these difficult experiences taught him valuable lessons about leadership, survival, and determination. As Temujin grew older, he began gathering loyal followers and forming alliances with neighboring tribes. Unlike many leaders of his time, he rewarded people based on their abilities and loyalty rather than their family background. This approach helped him gain the trust of many warriors and tribal leaders. Through a combination of diplomacy, strategy, and military skill, he gradually united the divided Mongol tribes under a single banner. In 1206, he was declared Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. This marked the beginning of a new era. For the first time, the Mongol people were united under one powerful leader with a vision of expansion and conquest. Genghis Khan transformed the Mongol army into one of the most effective military forces the world had ever seen. Every soldier was highly trained in horseback riding, archery, and survival skills. The Mongols could travel hundreds of kilometers in a matter of days, allowing them to surprise their enemies with sudden attacks. Their discipline, speed, and innovative tactics made them nearly impossible to defeat. They used intelligence networks, psychological warfare, and carefully planned strategies to overcome much larger armies. One by one, kingdoms and empires fell before the Mongol advance. The Mongols first expanded into northern China, where they fought powerful dynasties and captured important cities. They then moved westward into Central Asia, defeating the Khwarezmian Empire and gaining control of major trade routes. Entire regions that had once seemed unreachable were suddenly connected through Mongol rule. Their armies crossed deserts, mountains, and rivers, conquering territories that stretched across modern-day China, Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Russia, and beyond. The speed of their expansion amazed the world and created fear among their enemies. One of the most significant effects of Mongol rule was the revival of trade and communication. The famous Silk Road flourished under their protection, allowing merchants to travel safely between east and west. Valuable goods such as silk, spices, precious metals, and textiles moved across continents. Along with trade came the exchange of ideas, technologies, religions, and cultures. Scholars, travelers, and explorers could journey farther than ever before. This period of increased connection helped shape the development of many societies and brought distant civilizations into closer contact. After the death of Genghis Khan in 1227, many believed the empire would collapse. Instead, his descendants continued his work and expanded the empire even further. His sons and grandsons conquered new territories and established Mongol rule over vast regions. Among them, Kublai Khan became one of the most famous rulers. He founded the Yuan Dynasty in China and governed one of the richest and most populated areas in the world. Under his leadership, the Mongol Empire reached its greatest extent and became a center of international trade and cultural exchange. Despite its immense power, the empire faced increasing challenges. Governing such a vast territory was extremely difficult. Communication between distant regions was slow, and different parts of the empire developed their own political interests. Over time, disagreements among Mongol leaders led to divisions. The empire gradually split into separate khanates, each ruled by different branches of Genghis Khan's family. Although these states continued to exist for many years, they often competed with one another instead of working together. As the centuries passed, internal conflicts, economic difficulties, and external pressures weakened Mongol rule. New powers emerged in different regions, and many conquered peoples sought independence. In China, the Yuan dynasty was eventually overthrown. Other Mongol states also declined and disappeared. By the end of the 15th century, the once mighty empire had fragmented into smaller kingdoms and territories. The age of Mongol dominance had come to an end. Even though the Mongol Empire eventually fell, its influence on world history remains enormous. It reshaped international trade, revolutionized military tactics, encouraged cultural exchange, and connected civilizations across thousands of kilometers. The empire demonstrated how a determined group of people from the remote steppes of Mongolia could rise to dominate much of the known world. Today, historians continue to study its achievements, its conquests, and its lasting impact on global development. From the struggles of a young boy named Temujin to the creation of the largest land empire in history, the story of the Mongol Empire remains one of humanity's most extraordinary tales of ambition, power, and transformation.